Welcome back to the 40 Portal podcast, a coming of aging story told by 40 real women. I'm your host, Catherine Zach, and this episode is a banger. Today, I'm talking with Dinah Alobeid. She's a vice president at a tech company. She's a mom. She's a writer. She's a podcast host. She is like a barrel of energy. And she is also saying out loud the deepest, darkest questions that so many of us are holding as we hit the halfway mark of our lives. She has the job, she has the kid, she has the husband, the whole resume. And yet what we're talking about on the podcast today is still this persistent, nagging, sometimes devastating question that is living just below the surface. And I know that she's not alone. So listen, this is not just an hour of existential crisis. This conversation is bold. It is laugh out loud funny. I think I laughed until I cried at least once or twice. It's sexy, it's juicy, it's creative, and it's just fun. It's just fun. How much fun do we need right now? A lot. We talk about music as medicine and creativity as resistance. We talk about existential crises and overthrowing the patriarchy. We talk about Martha Stewart and Stranger Things and other very pop culture-y references. And also why it is vital to share and celebrate intergenerational women's stories and wisdom, especially right now in this moment. We're really fresh and we're really raw in this episode, so give yourself like a broad, tender trigger warning. We mention miscarriage and infertility and Botox versus frownies. Dinah hosts a podcast called Play This at My Funeral, and she's made a playlist especially for this episode. I'll link to it in the show notes. She's a Capricorn sun and moon. She writes fiction. She's turning 40 this summer, and she is standing at the threshold, letting us all watch. What a fierce fucking almost 40-year-old she is. So grab your headphones, get cozy, maybe pour yourself something good. Let's go. So I remember like sitting with you at the table. I think we're at the counter first. And I'm just like, I've known this woman my whole life. Like, you're such an open book, no pun intended. We had no context for each other. And there's always like, at least for me, there's always like a little pause where I'm like, okay, how's this going to go? But it just like was a millisecond. And then all of a sudden it was like, we couldn't get up from that table talking. We just kept going and going and going. And then it was 3 days later and we were still talking.
That's how I remember it. And I remember being like wrapped up in scarves and blankets because it was really cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
And we were brought together by Kate Schmeeding. And it was like the universe brought us together like tectonic plates through a magnetic force. And that was less than a year ago.
You're right.
It was months ago.
I mean,
like almost a year ago, but
it was like 10 months. 10 months, I think, because it was April. Yeah, it was April.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know what? Like, and Kate is and if people are listening to our episode, they go back and listen to episode 1, which is Kate Schmeeding, rhymes with meeting.
Yes.
She's such a connector of women, which that's who I want to know. I want to know women who are like, oh, you two, you three, you should all know each other. Let's do this. And the thing that I think connects us all is something that's really important to us, but it's not necessarily the top of our resume or the thing that we lead with, which also just makes me feel really seen. I wonder if you feel that too, that something that's so deeply important to me, but isn't like, yeah, it's not my job. It's not my title. That's like how she rounded us all up.
Oh, yeah. And like, we met on a makeshift writers retreat that Kate created for 4 women. And we were all about the same age. And we're all mothers of like kind of youngish kids. We were just in a similar place in life, but from 4 very different like geographic, cultural backgrounds. And it's just, again, the like coming openly as you are and letting someone see you and forming a deep connection and just being like, yeah, I feel that way too. Or like, oh, I never thought ever to think of the world in this way. It just was such a beautiful thing. I love what you said. I feel like I have a day job but I am so far removed from my resume and like how I live my life.
Okay. So pause there, because that's my second question. So I'll go back to my first, which is, okay, fine. Tell us your name. Tell us your name. And is there a story behind your name? That's question number 1. And then number 2 is introduce us without your labels. Tell us who you are without your resume. All right, you go. I set you up. You go.
I love it. My name is Dinah Susan Alobeid. And yes, there's a story to my name. So my name is actually Dinah. It's not Dinah. There's a silent H in Arabic. The leather is called tamarbuta, but nobody calls me like Dinah. Dinah is very like, there's like a softer ending, but everyone just says Dinah, like Tina, Nina, Lena, whatever. But it's Dinah. And I was a child of the 80s. I was born in New York City, in Manhattan. No one can ever take that away from me because I live in New Jersey now. So like I have to always caveat everything with it. And my mom was actually considering calling me Samantha after Alyssa Milano's character in Who's the Boss. And I was like, I was going to be Sam. I don't think I would make a good Sam, but I told some people I work with that, and they're like, you would have made a great Sam. And I'm like, no, Dina, it is. But my middle name is Susan. However, the story there is that my mom wanted to make it Susan, which is, I think, ivory or iris, the flower in Arabic. Oh my God, I'm not remembering. I'm such a bad.
You're Googling it.
First. It's iris. Okay, I was right. I didn't Google it. I just like went deep into the recesses of my mind.
Fact check.
Sausen means iris in Arabic, the flower, but she wrote it Susan. And I was like, and so if you like think about it, my name could also be very Southern, like Dinah Sue, but it's not. And then my last name, Alobeid, is my father's last name, and it's Alobeid, and it actually, Obeid, means slave in Arabic, but Alobeid, you make it a diminutive. But instead of the meaning of the word becoming a pejorative, it elevates it. So Alobeid means Lord. So like little slave. I don't know. It's so cool. I freaking love languages. That's my name. That's who I am. No, that's my name. That's not who I am.
But that is who you are. And also you're such a nerd. You're such a writer.
I'm like a language nerd.
A diminutive, because I don't even remember what that part of like what that means in grammar. A diminutive. You said
it's like when you like casa casita, when you make it be like something smaller. House is casa, casita is little house. So like it's the diminutive. I hope that's right. I'm just like talking out of my ass. Like I wasn't a journalism major and speaking, and I don't speak a million languages, but that's my name. Who am I?
Who are you,
Who
babe?
is she? As I like to say, I'm a lot of things, and I think my favorite part of life is being a lot of things. I was a person who, as a child, people described me as having a zest for life. I am a person who has a zest for life. I am a writer, a dancer, a podcast host myself. I host a podcast called Play This at My Funeral, which is at the intersection of music and existentialism and community. And it brings together everything that I love, which is being an earnest, cringy, passionate, wearing my heart on my sleeve, as you said earlier, open book. I I have a voracious appetite for life. I want to like try every food, go to every city, listen to every vinyl record, and get to know every woman under and over and at 40. And I just like to think deeply and be in community with people. I'm also a mom. I'm also a friend. I'm also a daughter and an only child. So yeah, a bunch of labels, but like I identify a lot with them and I feel good about them. I have a husband too. I'm a wife, but like whatever. I'm a partner. This always lasts. Sorry, Greg. He knows. He's fine.
Oh my gosh. You know what I also appreciate about you and did as soon as we met? I was like, she's kind of a live wire. We've got a hot one. And I am too. Like, right? Yes, in your Stevie Nicks outfit. I love it.
Yeah, I'm Stevie Nicks today.
I am here for it. Has anyone had a Stevie Nicks song on their
No Fleetwood yet. Not that I remember. I'll go back and listen, but no Fleetwood yet.
See, I would maybe put like Leather and Lace on there, which is her duet with, I forget who. I don't know.
I lied. I haven't recorded the episode yet, but in a couple of weeks, someone's playlist has Landslide, which is, iconic and very on the nose, but we love it. I played this at my funeral. Be your earnest self. There's no judgment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much.
Leather and Lace. When I have you on the pod, you better put that on there, and we're gonna talk about your music.
I love it. And you actually, and knowing that I was going to talk to you today, I was thinking a little bit about music because I am finding that. Well, here's how I'm going to put it. I don't think I'm having enough fun right now in my life. And I think music is like a really good gateway into fun. And so I'm like, I really want to start listening to like the stuff I would get ready to with my sisters in high school before school. Like that's the kind of energy I need for this spring. Like that's where I think I need to go.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You touched on such a nerve. The world around us wants us to be in a frazzled state of raw anxiety because it's like that suppresses us. That makes you be like, you're only worried about money, your livelihood, job security, real estate security. Oh my God. Feeling that franticness sucks the joy right out of it. And music and dancing is the best way to get back into that. I have so many songs I'm going to send to you.
Oh my God.
Because
we should make a playlist
for this episode. Done. Wait, oh my God. I know a perfect song for it.
Okay, tell me.
I didn't watch Stranger Things. Did you watch Stranger Things?
Like 3 episodes, but hit me.
Okay. So one of the actors who plays Steve in the show, he also is a musician and he has an album and it's like he goes by the artist name DJO and he has a song called End of Beginning. It's trending on Instagram right now, which is annoying me because I was like, I feel like I discovered this song. It's called End of Beginning and it is so like it hits you with like nostalgia and also like rooting in the present, and it would be perfect for this episode, for this entire concept. End of Beginning. Once you hear it, oh my goodness. And then I took a little dance break from work yesterday and I was like dancing around my bedroom just for like a release. I'm trying to think of what song I was listening to because that was a fun one.
Put it on the list. I love it.
I'm going to make that. Oh, yes. I love playlists.
I feel like we're having a crossover episode right now. You know how like sitcoms, like Who's the Boss would have crossed over with like whatever, Family Matters. Like I feel like we're having that.
Oh my God, Mad About You and Friends.
Yes.
They had a crossover with Helen Hunt and oh
good.
Yeah,
we're showing our age, which is the whole point of this one. And okay, so I want to go back to the nerve that we touched on, and then I'm going to get back to my question. But like we were talking about this before we hit record. It's like, and in our DMs the other day, what we're doing here with each of our creative pursuits is like, it is a little bit of like a fuck you to like that powers that be trying to keep us like feeling derailed and dysregulated. And creativity is one of the research-backed evidence-based ways that you can reset your nervous system, manage your stress levels, and come back to yourself. So, I mean, create even if there's no end goal or whatever, like monetary value to it. Create because it feels good to create. I feel like is such a strong pull for both of us.
1,005%. And like we both have younger kids, and like my kid is never happier than when he's coloring, playing a game, being like, give me that cardboard box was my robot. Why would you ever recycle it? Like, I feel like this moment in time, and it's happening. Like we see people in our community and people out there online that are doing things like making their own clothes, finger painting, like dancing, moving their bodies, like creating anything is the epitome of human existence. It's just, it feels so good to be creating conversations via podcast, to be creating like a string of words in a journal, like anything. It's just, it reminds us of our humanity. Because so much of our world wants to just like suck that away. Like, no, go buy more. Go buy more. Go like just watch something and just ignore everything else and just forget. Don't listen to the thoughts in your head or the feeling in your body. Just numb out. So yeah, I love us.
I love us too. Okay, question number 3. How old are you and how old do you feel?
Okay. I am 39 and I'm turning 40 this summer. And I feel perpetually 21. And a friend of mine said within the last 6 months, she said, there is this spiritual notion that the age your mother is when she has you is your age.
I've never heard that. Tell me more.
That's it. That's all it is. Because I said to her, I was like, I think it was Marnie, my friend Marnie. And I said, you are just like so your age. And she's the same age as me. And she's like, yeah, I do feel this age. What age do you feel? And I said, I feel 21 all the time. And she's like, oh, I feel this age. And I think it's because of this like concept. My mom had me when she was this age. And I was like, my mom had me at 21. And I feel like, listen, motherhood and life has been kind to me. But I mean, I'm not 21. I'm 39. But I forget that a lot. And I feel that not all of the time, but a good part of the time, I'd say like 50% of the time, I feel that I have the energy I did when I was 21, the creative appetite, and the like lust for life, as like Lana Del Rey would say. So yeah, I feel 21, but I'm 39.
I love that. So then if I'm the age my mother was when she had me, I'm 34, which feels like a little boring to me.
I was 34 when I had my son. I think it's a great age.
It's a great age. I was 34. I was in between having my 2 children, and that was like the beginning of the pandemic. Like I was 30. I was like, 34 into 35. Those were hard years. Those were tough years for me.
For a lot of us in our, like my friends who are within a couple of years older than me, within a couple of years younger than me, like these last, can you believe it's been 6 years?
No.
Time stopped. Time is not real.
So we will never know the answer to this, but I'm very curious, like, because we were having children around that time, the pandemic hit, like, what was it? What is it? Plus, like, all these other variables about our relationship to technology and whatever. There's so many reasons why it does feel like time shifted around that moment. And I will never know, like, was it just this? Was it just that? Or is it all of them combined?
It's a great mystery of this life.
It totally is. Oh my gosh. Did we establish, are you a Leo?
No, I'm a Cancer sun and moon and a Virgo rising.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that too. I'm a Leo,
Yeah.
and but I'm like a cuspy
Yes.
Leo. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Virgo
Okay.
cusp?
No, Cancer.
Cancer cusp. Yeah. That's like the yoga, the caretaking, the community building, the nurturer. Yeah. Welcome.
I love it when people tell me about my astrological signs because I know very little, and I'm like, yes.
I love astrological signs so much.
So do a lot of my guests. I have to tell
Women who want to talk about being in, at, or over 40 want to talk about astrology. It is our religion.
It is our religion. Okay, so you're 39, you're in the portal, babe. And I know that because we've had like a little side convo about that. And you feeling like you're in the portal. Can you tell us a little bit about what you mean?
Yeah. So, you posed a question to me and to all your guests, like, how did you phrase it? You said, like, how does it feel being in the portal or something like that? And I'm a very self-aware person. I like that about myself. I'm also like slightly delulu, but in a grounded way. And for a few years now, I have felt, again, that endless like yearning, lust for life. And and it's not easy to say. And if you're in my life, you're a close part of my life, it's not easy to hear, but I feel sometimes that I'm living the wrong life. So I fell into tech, and that's what I do as my day job. But it's like more than a day job. It's my career. I'm a vice president at a tech company. So I'm like in a leadership role, and it's a lot of responsibility, and I'm good at it, and I like it for the most part. But like, I don't want to say I have regrets, even though like a lot of the time I admit it. Like, yeah, I think I do have regrets. I think that I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm spending my days the wrong way, and I'm potentially in the completely wrong side of the country / world. And it's hard to say that, but I'm an open book, and I also like confrontation, even with myself. And I've been like, that for me has been what's coming up right now as I am months away from 40. And it's not that I'm dreading it. And for all of my 30s, I was like, I love 30s. I'm not afraid to turn 40, but like, it comes for you. It comes for you, this realization that if you're very lucky, 40 is halfway through your life. Catherine O'Hara just died, and she was in her early 70s. And that's a reminder that 40 is more than halfway for her. When she was 40, she was more than halfway. So you really take stock of your life. Like, how am I going to spend the second half of my life? And if I'm really lucky, maybe a little more time than that. So that's where I'm at. I am in it, baby. I'm in it.
So now we're going all out of order, but
Sorry.
which I'm going to roll with because I love it. There's no order, but like, so the last part of the podcast is where I pick out a piece of wisdom from the portal or a question from the portal and ask it to my guest. And I was actually going to read you yours, and I'm just going to read it now because I think you're saying, it's like you've named an elephant in the room, and maybe people are having their own different experience of this, but there is like a big kernel of truth to this. So I'm just want to read, because you've said it beautifully here, but what you wrote, I was like, I just think we need to say this out loud, because I think a lot of us are also really silently holding on to these worries, and that's a lot to keep to yourself, right? So This is what you wrote, my dear.
Oh God. Okay.
It's very subtle and casual and low key.
That's your trigger warning, listeners.
Okay. Burning through my heart, day in and day out, as I get closer to turning 40 this summer, is this persistent, devastating question. What if I am living the wrong life? My life is potentially half over. More, less, who can know? And I have this nagging sensation that I live in the wrong place in the world. I'm doing the wrong professional work in my career and will never be fulfilled emotionally and spiritually, no matter how many creative endeavors I take on, no matter how many monthly newsletters I send, which cracked me up, existential podcasts I put out into the world, writing retreats with incredible girlfriends I attend, fiction books I read at night before bed. Maybe it's all wrong. Shit. I'm scared.
Wow. Dinah reading myself the filth. That was, I can't believe I wrote that because it's actually very beautiful. I'm like, wow, maybe she is a writer.
You
I'm just
are.
kidding. I am a writer. I've written 2 fiction books. I just like, someone please be my lit agent. No. Yeah, I am very much a truth teller and a truth seeker. So yeah, it, it was less scary hearing it back. I was a little scared, but I feel good about it. I think these are the questions people should be asking themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I like, trust me, I love a good existential crisis. I usually schedule mine for Monday afternoons. But
it's a good time.
But you know that I like to take a Monday morning bath. And if I do that, I avoid the existential crisis. If I dive right into capitalism on Monday mornings, then I usually end the day with an existential crisis. So,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I've taken so many more baths since our writing retreat last spring.
Mm-hmm. That maybe is the secret. No, I'm joking. It's not the answer.
No, living in the present is the only secret. But,
Mm-hmm.
we can't do that all the time because we have responsibilities and places to get to. Living in the present is the way you feel happiness, but it's so hard to hold on to.
Yeah. So I don't have any answers, but I think this question is like really central to the podcast, and part of like, and I'll give you a different piece of portal wisdom at the end of the episode, but like it's navigating these conversations together and just saying it all out loud and working through it together. And what I think too is like, what it shows is that you're paying attention. And I actually think that that's a clue that like you're doing a lot of it the way that you need to, the way that you came here to do, if you're paying attention to it. I think that's key. I really do.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm necessarily like doing the work, but I am thinking in big ways. I think it's something I've done since I was a kid. I never called it existentialism per se. Maybe I just called it being obsessive and boy crazy and like a goody two shoes / badass at the same time. Like we can hold many multitudes.
We contain multitudes. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Me.
That's you.
Okay.
I mean, I'm leaving this in the room. Like it's in the air because like this is going to be a major point of like this is a question that everyone's going to ask each other. Like and maybe send us some answers, and we'll put the submit button here where you can like send your wisdom.
Like, how can you ever know if you're living the wrong? There's no such thing as living the wrong or right life. It's like a buildup of choices and circumstances. And I think, okay, something's coming through for me, which is every day is a chance to take a step, even if it's not a dramatic overhaul of your life, to get where you want to be and do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. Okay, question. What were you supposed to have done by now?
Damn it! I did not. Okay, listeners, I did not know these questions beforehand, and this is what was I supposed to have done by now? Okay, I'll tell you. Mm-hmm. I was supposed to have a literary agent and published at least 2 books by now. I was supposed to have become a TV writer and moved to California and actually lived somewhere outside of the Northeast, my hometown of the tri-state area and like my comfort zone. Like I went to school in Massachusetts and in Boston, and I've never lived anywhere but here. And 12 years ago, I had this notion to quit my job, drive across country to California and become a TV writer. And I didn't do it for a lot of reasons. And that haunts me to no avail. I should have had a second kid by now, and it's not going as easily as I want it to when I had such an easy time having my first kid. Granted, lots of other stuff, but parenting isn't easy and nothing is perfect. And, but I'm so blessed. And in retrospect, 5 years later, I'm like, wow, what a blessing it was how I had my baby I decided I wanted to have a baby and I had him. I'm so fucking blessed because now I'm like, oh, secondary infertility. It's not that easy. And, again, I'm coming to terms with it, but like, like, I'm turning 40. And, back in our day, giggles, it's like, oh my God, a 40-year-old having a child. But I did find solace in looking up all the celebrities who've had babies between 40 and 52. And it's a lot of people. And it makes me really happy.
Who had a baby at 52?
Janet Jackson.
Okay, that's right. I did know that.
Carried a baby. Carried.
I do that too.
So,
I Google people. I'm like, because I also was supposed to have published books by now, right? Like, totally with you on that. Yeah. And I'm like, do. I'm like, Brene Brown self-published her first book and sold it out of the back of her car at like 42. Yes.
She's self-published. I did not know that. Okay. Food for thought. What else was I supposed to do? I was supposed to lose the 20 pounds I've gained since I got married and had a child. I'm 5 feet tall, for anyone who doesn't know me. And like, I danced my whole life as well. I still dance, but like, there aren't that many adult classes in the suburb I live. And like, I dance mostly for fun. But that's a really interesting relationship with your body when you're a dancer. And by anyone's standards, I'm a physically fit person, but like, your girl is very critical on herself. What else was I supposed to do? Buy a bigger house. It's never a big enough house. It's never, figure out my life.
So then what is it? Trust me, I have my whole list as well. But is there anything that you are learning to care less about as you get older?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, tell us.
And that is my looks. Like, I know I just brought up weight. And that is because, again, I love all these clothes I have and I want to fit into them. And I'm like, but then I love to eat. So I'm like, is it really worth it? If I really wanted to lose a little weight, I would just like watch what I eat a little bit better. I'm not. What I'm caring about less is my looks. Yes, I have on makeup because I'm doing podcasts today, but like, I am not going to get Botox. Like, that is a choice. People can do whatever they want to do. I'm not going to hold it against anybody. I have loads of friends who have Botox and whatever. I'm not going to get Botox. I never want to give in to that. I love a good moisturizer as much as the next person, but I am not going to give in to spending thousands and thousands of dollars a year and all of this time doing skincare routine. Like moisturizer, SPF, maybe a nice little serum. Great. I am not going to spend hours in the mirror looking at myself. I mean, I never did this to begin with. I got a haircut, so my hair looks pretty today. But like I have curly hair, so I take a shower, I comb it out, I put curl cream, and I get on with my day. I don't like to spend a long time getting ready to go anywhere. And instead of playing comparison bingo and being like, everyone on the internet is so much more beautiful than me and has such better clothes and like cute jewelry. And oh my God, everyone's house is so much better than my house because my house is filled with toys and my artwork in the dining room is my son's art because we call it his gallery and we have wall safe tape. And I'm like, who the fuck cares if I don't live in a museum worthy house? Like, I live here. People aren't just coming here all the time. And also people love coming to my house. Every time our family friends come over, they're like, we love being here. And I'm like, oh, it's too small. I only have 1.5 bathrooms. Everyone's like, oh, this is so much fun. It's so warm and cozy. And I'm like, well, that's just me, I think. Not the house.
You are warm and cozy. It's really interesting. There's so many things I want to say because you're bringing up so many good points. No, you're perfect.
Been yakking.
No, I mean, like, listen, okay, where do I want to start? One of the reasons I'm doing this podcast too is because I'm so sick of the way that like when I open up my phone, it's as though I am a one-dimensional person or like creature because they're just feeding me these things that you're talking about of like I'm like, this isn't even really what I'm talking about with my friends. Like sometimes it comes up, but we're talking about a whole lot of other things.
Oh yeah.
And then once in a while we'll be like, I just noticed that my eyelids are drooping. That's fine. Whatever. So there's that, but it's like we are so much more textured and nuanced. There's so much more that's interesting about us. And like the perfect house thing is such a load of whatever. I think at the end of but then it makes me think like, why do we apologize? Because I had people over for Christmas and I was like trying so hard to not apologize for the size of my normal house. But a couple, maybe 2 summers ago, we had a party because I also love entertaining. And
me too. I love it.
Right. And I did the thing where I like cleaned up the downstairs and then I was like trying to clean up the upstairs, LOL. And then I was like, fuck it. And so I wrote on a piece of paper and I hung it on the wall at the top of my stairs. I did not use wall safe tape because I didn't know wall safe tape was a thing until you just said that.
I'll send you that.
Put it in the show notes. And the note said, and the note said something like, thank you so much for being here. If you made it this far, like you're here because I love you. And I didn't clean the upstairs. And if it looks like humans live here, it's because we do. And that's it. Like,
that's it. That's it. And when we show up for each other and are just like okay with that and there's no expectations, that's the beauty of it, because like no one is like literally your most judgmental friend, family member, whatever. They're not coming to your house to judge the types of books you read and your bedding, your choice in bedspread. No one cares.
Yeah.
You think people care?
No, I don't.
They care about themselves.
Yeah.
We all like, I forget who told me this. This was probably like 10, 15 years ago. Someone told me, it was a dance teacher. I was doing a dance at a dance school in New York City. And the teacher said, come right up to the mirror, put your nose to the mirror, take 8 steps back away from the mirror. This is how everyone else in the world sees you. No one sees you as close as you see yourself. And that stayed with me. That stayed with me for a long time because I feel like we scrutinize everything. We're very critical on ourselves, or at least like many people are. I don't think everyone. I think some people are walking around without a fucking iota of self-awareness, but that's for another day. But yeah, we're so hard on ourselves, and it's like you've opened your home for loved ones to come and spend time with you. They're there to spend time with you, and that's more than enough.
Mm-hmm. No, I was thinking about, I think it's from John O'Donohue's book called Anam Cara, which means soul friend. Do you know?
My friend is Irish, and she is my
How do they say it?
Anam Cara.
Anam Cara. Oh my God. So you know, it's your soul friend. And so he's like, we don't judge our friendships by how many problems we solve when we're together. We judge our friendships based on how it feels when we spend time together. That's it. Wow. I didn't know that you know this book.
I love the notion of Anam Cara. I actually learned the notion from my friend Fiona. She lives in Ireland now. Her family is from Ireland. She's from here, though. She lives there now. She just got married there in November, and I was able to attend. And then I read the book when I went to Ireland for the first time in 2019 with her for a yoga retreat. She's a yoga instructor. She's wonderful. And what I love most about Anam Cara, the concept of soul friend, is that you can have it for not just people, but places and things and activities. So like, you know, New York City could be someone's Anam Cara, or like driving with the windows down on this particular road could be someone's Anam Cara. It's really just, I love that you brought that up. It's a beautiful book. I think I would highly recommend it. Such a beautiful nonfiction book.
All of his stuff is so good. Okay, that's kind of a great segue into one of my other questions, which is, where do you feel most seen, most safe, and most at home?
Oh, I don't know. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Just casual.
Very casual. Where do I feel most seen? On my podcast. I feel most seen. Yeah.
So I want to ask you about that because you just started your podcast at 39. So like, tell me how those two things fit together, that you feel most seen in something that you have just begun.
Yeah, I had the idea for it at like 38. I had the idea for it a year and a half ago. And I think why I feel most seen by it is that it brings together everything I love, like dance, writing, connection, thinking very deeply, laughing, being vulnerable, being silly. I think all of those things coming together make me feel really seen.
Do you think there's something about being the age that you are now that is allowing you to access or create that experience that maybe you weren't able to access earlier? Or just no, it's just when it happened?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like subconsciously, was I always headed here? Probably. Right? I had been thinking about the podcast for a long time, for like 6 months before I started doing something about it. And then it was like another 3 months before I started recording.
Can I tell you, I don't think that's that long. I think that's actually really quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Fairly. You know what? It's so funny because I never drew a direct line between I'm going to turn 40 in the near future and let me start a podcast called Play This at My Funeral about how I want to be remembered and how people want to be remembered when they're gone. But yeah, the existentialism came in a pretty direct way for me. Yes. Because I've been thinking a lot, if I leave this earth at any moment, what will I have done? I've done a lot of things. I've published 4 short stories. I've made a beautiful baby boy. I have, I've written a bunch of newsletters, but also I put this creative endeavor out into the world, 1 season, 11 episodes, and it's out there. No one can ever take that from me. And if I'm gone, people can go back and reminisce on a little piece of me. My loved ones can be like, oh, that Dinah, she was doing the most.
Dinah. Okay, I love that. What is one thing your 10 years ago self would be really surprised to know about you today?
Dinah in 2016 in February 2016, she would be pissed and surprised to know that we are living in New Jersey and that we've been here for almost 10 years because at the end of 2016, I bought a condo in New Jersey. I was living in Queens 10 years ago, and I have lived in New York, somewhere in New York City for the majority of my life. I can still say that for now because I have 18 total years no, more than that. 18 and 6. Well, that's 24. I got 24, 25 years of living in New York. So it's going to be a while before living anywhere else becomes the thing. I've lived there the longest. But yeah, that's what I think I would be most surprised about is that I lived here. I contend with it every day. And listen, New Jersey's similar to New York, but it's still not the same.
You know what's funny is I kind of forgot this about you, but also it was one of the things that I learned about you when we met, very soon into knowing you. You're
yeah, I talk about it a lot.
But it's making me laugh because I've had people there's this one woman that I know who's we're friends. She's local. We see each other every couple months, whatever. And she's 10 years younger than I am, maybe. And she's like, Kath, I guess every time I'm around her, I'm talking about those things called frownies. Have you been marketed?
Yes, frownies, please sponsor this podcast. But also, I have never used a frownie, but literally all the content I'm served is about frownies.
It's about frownies. So I love that your thing that you're always talking about is that you're from New York City. And I'm like, why is my thing that I want to try frownies?
I would try them. They seem totally benign.
Totally benign. I'm just laughing about that. Another one of my facts was for a while, I couldn't stop talking about the fact that we didn't have a proper mud room. So people would be like, wow, this lady is really obsessed with the fact that she does.
I talk about that so much, Kath, because I don't have a proper mudroom. And I think that a proper mudroom and a proper pantry and another bathroom and another bedroom, up, but like the mudroom would change my life and those other things too, but the mudroom mostly. Because we live in the Northeast, so the weather be weathering.
Oh my God. It's so intense right now. This podcast is off the rails
you live,
now.
but
I'm
that's
crying.
the most fun. That's the most fun. I knew we were going to get deep.
Okay. What is one narrative that you were given about a woman your age? So let's just call her 40, like a woman turning 40, that you had growing up. And then how does that map onto your life now?
Oh, yeah. I think everything in pop culture when we were growing up was you're old at 40. You're an old woman who doesn't and shouldn't dress sexy. However, by the time that we were in high school and like finishing high school, like Sex and the City, etc., Sex and the City made 30s and 40s sexier. And it's like these, and the reboot of Sex and the City and Just Like That showcased sexual intimacy for 50 and 60-year-olds. And I think that that's actually really beautiful because we need more of those stories. Like Grace and Frankie, great show on Netflix. It's so good. It's Jane, is it Jane Fonda?
It's Jane Fonda.
And Lily Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like friends in their 70s or 80s. And it's like, again, they are full, well-rounded people who are having a human experience, because the narrative is like at 40, women just disappear. You're just in your mothering, in your domesticity. You're not looking sexy. You're not looking cute. You're not having sex. You're shriveled up and you're just being put out to pasture. And I think that's such bullshit. And I think even though we live in 2026 and it's not like that, because we have people like J-Lo and Shakira who are in their like 40s and 50s, and Helen Mirren and like Martha Stewart's in her 80s. And she's like, I'm a sex icon. Fuck that. But there's still so much that overemphasizes youth. Like being younger is better. We all want to be younger and tighter. And like, no, aging is a privilege and it's beautiful. And I don't know what we have to do other than like upend this patriarchal society and become a matriarchal society again to like have it feel normal. Like, this is weird. We're living in weird times. I just want to appreciate being a human being without all this pressure.
No, I know. And okay, so again, two more things why I'm doing this podcast. Like, I actually have had the privilege and honor and luck, good fortune, to be always kind of surrounded by women who are older than I am that are just setting a really great example of how to be. And I love that I get to see that, but I also think that can be rare. And so I just feel I want to shed more light on that experience and kind of shine the light on people who are a couple years behind us to be like, come on, it's good. It's okay. It's okay. It's actually,
come on in. The water's fine.
Welcome to the portal, babe. Yeah. It's I have to show you this. This was my friend Allison, who I did her episode the other day. This is the portal. She gave this to me for my 40th birthday.
That's so cool.
Isn't that cool?
It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's so trippy. But yes,
stories, women's stories, older women's stories are so important. Our friend Georgia Clark, the writer who hosts Generation Women.
Yes.
Women's stories as we age are so important. We have to keep that torch well lit.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing I wanted to say too is that I actually do believe that a woman in her 40s and 50s and 60s, we're some of the most powerful, sexy, creative, knowledgeable, wise, probably terrifying creatures in the universe. Which also makes sense as to why we get people are trying to tamp us down.
I think that a group of women can probably run any company or government or community or school better than anybody else. And women are super powerful, and society doesn't like that for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel very powerful and like much more confident in myself than I did when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
My voice feels sharper.
Yeah. So where do you look for, this is my final top 10 question. Where do you look for wisdom? Okay. Like, where do you look for your wisdom? If we're like not seeing what we need to see when we open our phones, like where are you actually getting that?
This is a hard one. I look for wisdom in my own meditation, spiritual prayer practice, which is just like between me and the universe, because I don't subscribe to a traditional religion. And I have a lot to like say to myself. So I try to look inwards because I feel like I have it in me somewhere, but sometimes you don't always see it crystal clear. And I look to my friends for wisdom a lot because I think there is power in sharing vulnerable truth. And women historically, notoriously, have been isolated purposefully so that we don't share things like how much money we make and what it feels like to have a miscarriage and struggles, like all kinds of mental, emotional, physical, spiritual struggles. And the wisdom of not like whining to your friend group, but like sharing experience and saying, this is what I'm dealing with. Have you ever dealt with that? And then hearing it reverberated to you of like, I went through that last year. You know, miscarriage, I'll stay on that for a second. For so long, and it's not even that in the zeitgeist as much as it could be. As soon as I started to ask about it, everyone had an experience or a story with it. And it's like, why is this so taboo? Why are all of these things, like, why aren't we talking more openly? Why do we completely, like, get embarrassed about the things that literally make us human? So that's where I'm looking for my wisdom. I'm looking for people who I trust, who I know are good-hearted. Yeah, I'm trying to find it in myself, but it's hard. It's noisy in here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I love this. I am going to read you a piece of portal wisdom. Okay. I already read your question back to yourself. And you know what? I'm going to read this one. I was going between a few. Dearest Calf, I write this to you at 4:44 on my 44th birthday. How's that for portal vibes, mama?
I love that.
I would say the one lesson I'm constantly learning is to come back to myself, to turn inward. Self-trust, intuition, grace, forgiveness, surrender, love, it's all within you, parentheses, me. And really, that's the only thing that matters. Not the heady part, but the hearty part. Relying on my own supply is really all there is. It is how I can show up for others when I feel my best, when I feel my most smart. No more looking, you're already there.
I'm going to just play that as an affirmation every morning. When you publish this, I'm going to let it wash over me every morning. I'm going to write down the time and the pod that you read that to me. And I'm going to do what I just did. That was perfect for me. So thank you to whoever wrote that. Also, I love number synchronicity. My birthday's 7/7. I turned 21 on 7/7/2007. 3 sevens. 3 times 7 is 21.
And 21 is the age you feel and the age your mom was when she had you.
Oh, we're in the portal. You need some like portal music for the pod.
I know. I have like a good like bluesy rock kind of thing because that to me, I was like, yeah, it's good. That's what
I
I'm
like
channeling.
It's ferocious woman.
Yeah, I feel fierce AF. So like that's not an answer to your question, but it's like this is what I want to keep doing is be like, this isn't what you asked, but maybe there's a little glimmer on like where your own answers might lie. There, no more looking, you're already there.
That's the answer. No, that is an answer. The answer is that I am here and that where I am is the right place at this time in my life to get where I want to be going. And wherever I end up is not going to end up looking like my big dreams. It's going to look different, I'm sure. But I'm already there. I'm here. I'm living a life. My life is beautiful and chaotic and busy and hectic like everyone else's. And I'm doing it. I'm connecting with people. I'm feeding my kid. I'm paying the mortgage. I'm doing a podcast. I'm reading a little fiction when I can. Like, I'm answering texts. I'm cooking dinner. Like, I'm doing it. Thank you. That was an answer. And I love it.
Oh my
God. The portal works.
The portal works. We're in the portal, babe. Oh my God. You're the best. I'm going to link to where everyone can find you because they just want to know more and more about you and spend more time with you too. So
yes.
You're the best. You're the best.
Thank you.
Dinah.
Thank you.
Dinah. Okay, Dinah. Okay. That conversation was everything. And if this episode hit you, if you too are asking, what if I'm living the wrong life? Or you just loved the energy of this conversation, you need to know something. You don't have to figure this out alone. You don't have to sit with the big, deep, dark questions alone. That is what the portal retreat is for. June 17th through the 19th, right here in the Hudson Valley. 3 days to ask the big questions out loud, to sit with other women who are also in or approaching their second chapter, wondering, is this my life? What do I actually want? What feels true? How can I get more of that and less of what does not? It will be 3 days of bold conversations, creative resistance, laughter, and maybe a little music as medicine. This is inner work and community in real life. And I know it's what so many of us are craving right now. And here's the thing. The retreat is almost sold out. I have just a few spots left. So if you've been circling this, if you've been thinking about it, and this episode made you feel seen, now is the time. Register at the40portal.com/retreat. And one more thing before you go. If this episode resonated, please, please, please share it with a woman that you are also having these kinds of conversations with. Put it in your group chat, share it with your book club, send it through a voice memo. We just need to be having this conversation as big and as boldly as we can. And you are part of spreading the word. So thank you. You can also rate the podcast, subscribe, leave a 5-star review, all the good things. I would love that so much. It helps the pod so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I'm so grateful to be in the portal with you, babe. See you right back here next week.